If you're looking for the best bass guitars under $500, here's a list you must see. We made this list based on our personal preference and sorted it based on their features, prices, quality, durability, and reputation of the manufacturers and customer feedback. Also, we've included options for every type of customer. So let's get started. At the first position of our list, we have Sterling by Music Man SUB-Ray5. The SUB-Ray5 feels like a Music Man instrument in every way. The main quality is the robust build that packs a punch for the price. The punchy low end is still there, although there is no mid-range EQ, and the bass range still performs quite nicely. It has quite a round tone when both EQ settings are set flat, which I like very much as it gives the bass the Music Man specific sound. The lower B string can put on quite a display regardless of the lack of mid-range EQ. It is deep and wide. The body is made from basswood while both the neck and the fretboard are from maple, giving it that nice bright color. The fret dots are black, which I think is a nice contrast with the white satin finish maple neck. You can find them on the fretboard and the side of the neck. The frets on the fretboard are nice with no sharp ends, and the body feels quite comfortable when you strap on the bass. With the basic headstock bias, the style of the bass is what you would expect out of a Music Man bass, a robust and sturdy modern version of a Fender Jazz bass. It's 9 pounds heavy, which is an average weight. The fretboard contains 21 frets and is a long scale 34. It has a 2-band active EQ, which gives the player the freedom to sculpt their tone. The active preamp has controls for volume, bass, and treble, which offer maximum flexibility in finding your sound. It has one humbucker that is positioned closer to the bridge that delivers that punchy bright tone. You can't make a bad call with this one. For the price range, you get a solid instrument that is going to last. It's not a finesse instrument, but it covers that with its playability and performance. Music Man made a bass that is going to satisfy a lot of players. In my opinion, this is the best bass guitar under $500 in terms of overall value. Moving on to the next at number 2 with Epiphone Toby Standard Roman 4. This bass came out as a surprise to me considering its price. What is amazing is that it has a bass and treble control, but not active electronics, which is awesome for playing those thick metal riffs. It means you can have the tone control of an active bass without worrying about the battery going dead or the electronics simply pooping out at a gig. The smooth and fast neck suits playing fast lines. The Toby Standard Roman 4 is a great bass that has that rock/metal vibe going and is playable and fun. The Toby Standard Roman 4 has that mean look as well as the sound that you just want to headbang with. This is bass for metal players that are looking to get a pretty neat instrument in the lower price range that is going to last them for a long time. A perfect instrument for young players that are just starting out playing. If you are looking for something fancy, you won't find it here. This bass holds its own as one of the best in the range of entry-level bass guitars for music such as rock and metal. It brings a great balance of style, functionality, and great tone. The number 3 position is held by Squier Classic Vibe 60s Precision Bass. Classic Vibe 60s is something I always wanted. With the look of the early P basses and its vintage body, you cannot but give this bass some love. It's sleek and light, playable, and it has that old school tone inspired by the 60s P bass that just brings out another vibe. The punchy fat tone is still there, bringing the smooth sound out of you when you play. The body is comfortable, and the C-shaped neck fills out the hand and feels just right. For players who are lovers of that classic P bass look and sound, and like players such as James Jamerson or Pino Palladino, this is a great buy at an affordable price. Intermediate players who like to play around with different styles of music are going to love this bass. It is perfect for doing live gigs or recording some stuff in the studio. As a P bass lover myself, I can tell you this is a solid bass that goes beyond the expectations considering the price. Squier 60s P bass is a solid alternative to the more expensive Fender P bass that still holds its own considering the price. Next at number 4, we have Ibanez GSRM25. I just had to put this amazing short scale on the list. This Ibanez bass came as a surprise to me considering it is a short scale 5-string bass that is quite light to carry around but still packs a punch. It is an entry-level bass, but still, it provides a wide range of tone shaping. It has a nice warm sound with a good low-end response. For the price range, of course, there are going to be limitations on what you can do, but still, the dual single coil pickups will give you a lot of possibilities in different musical styles. Ibanez tried to make a bass with a little bit of everything, and I think they succeeded quite nicely. The bass is light, playable and has a quality sound on top of good looks. It is an overall great beginner's bass that can be utilized in various aspects. With good playability, smooth neck, and design, it is a must-buy for people who are starting or want to try a short scale. Somebody would say short scale basses are better for beginners, which is true. But this bass is also made for experienced players who know how to groove. Great compact size makes it fit for carrying outside and using in space-restricted home studios. It is playable, light, and sounds great, sturdy, and loud. Ibanez GSRM25 BK is a real hit for the bucks. The number 5 position is held by Squier Classic Vibe 70s Jazz Bass V. This Squier Classic Vibe 5-string electric bass guitar is exceptionally well manufactured. The fret intonation is very accurate, and the material used is of excellent quality. It is solidly built, a wooden beauty with retro aesthetics, which I like very much. The sound it produces is as expected from Fender, solid and thick. The playability is awesome, and the single coil setup works as expected. The tone is clean, and the controls are easy to make your favorite sound. The affordable price combined for intermediate to beginner players that would love to get their hands on a 5-string. This is a must-buy. Great for traveling musicians that want to have a solid instrument by their side. The bass tone is beautiful, as is the playability once tweaked to preference on this Fender. Fender bass guitars are usually a good win, and I recommend this Squier by Fender vintage modified jazz bass model wholeheartedly. This is easily one of the best bass guitars under $500 right now. The number 6 position is dominated by Squier Classic Vibe 60s Fretless Jazz Bass. This fretless model hits my sweet spot. The authentic 1960s look is just perfect for me, as someone who loves Fender instruments all around. Combining the smooth playability, which made it so popular among bassists initially, with tonal versatility, this fretless bass guitar is of a quality that belies its affordable price. The controls are simple and allow for good tonal expression. A player-friendly bass carrying the vintage vibe of the old-school Fender basses, this fretless model is an amazing buy. It can work great for players that are just starting on their fretless journey. Apart from the vintage design, the sound and quality you get from this thing are massive. The Squier Classic Vibe 60s fretless bass is a tributary model celebrating a decade since it was first produced. Fender again managed to produce an instrument worthy of our time and money. Moving on to the next at number 7 with Yamaha TRBX204. The thing I like about this Yamaha TRBX204 is that its tone punches way above the price. It has a wide range of sounds that you can create with the tone controls, perfect for creating that fat, juicy, rough tone needed for metal. It fares quite well in live and studio sessions. For the most part, the definition of the tone is great, with crisp trebles and a well-rounded low-end response. The overall quality of the hardware is good, and every component does its job more than well. It's affordably priced, so it'd be a great beginner bass, but it's a good choice for general use for more advanced players that want to test those muddy metal waters. You might want to eventually consider a pickup swap to something a little more distinctive and wide-ranging, but if you are just into the metal, there is no need for that. For anybody that is looking for a bass that will last them for a long time, this TRBX204 offers features like an active preamp, classic tone mode construction, and a design that looks great. If you are looking for a relatively future-proof model that will serve well for a long time, I recommend the Yamaha TRBX204. Considering that it is an active bass in this price range, it's a must-buy. A solid quality bass that offers a balanced performance, this Yamaha proves again why they are still holding the standard in the industry. Their instruments can adapt and be used in all kinds of settings, as proven with this bass. The number 8 position is held by Ibanez AEB10E. Ibanez was always known for bringing great performance and style to the acoustic guitar world, and they did it again with the AEB10E. When it comes to sound, Ibanez AEB10E punches tangibly above its weight class. We can probably attribute that to a great choice of materials, proper bracing, and that legendary Ibanez know-how. The tone is well defined with plenty of girth in the low range. Mids are present and clear, while trebles come across as punchy. When plugged-in, Fishman preamp does its thing. You get a very authentic plugged-in sound with a good amount of maneuvering space thanks to the onboard EQ. Despite not being a handmade model, I'm truly impressed with the Ibanez AEB10E. This bass can serve well as a practice instrument, but that would be a waste considering its looks. The sound you get from it can do well in different styles of playing. Both beginner and intermediate players should consider getting this awesome acoustic bass. A truly awesome bass. It can attract attention by its looks alone. But when you pick it up, its performance shows the true quality of the instrument. If you are looking for a proper mid-range acoustic bass guitar, chances are you won't find something much better than this. Next at number 9, we have Gretsch G2220 Junior Jet Roman 2. Gretsch G2220 Junior Jet Roman 2 bass is the bass many players would be surprised with, especially with its versatility. You can comfortably play different music styles and utilize different techniques. The tone you get out of it is perfect for precision work as well as smooth bass lines. The general perception is that short-scale instruments, especially basses, sacrifice some tone for comfort and playability, but that is not the case here. The tone from both pickups is clear and bright. The passive pickups do a reasonable job of conveying the tone of the instrument. It has just enough of fatness and punch. For people who like a simple instrument without all the bells and whistles and are looking for an equally simple tone without too much fuss, the Junior Jet Roman 2 is not going to disappoint. If you are just starting or you want to try a short scale, this one is not going to disappoint you. A bass with a lot of good qualities from the build to the sound. If you're looking for a decent bass with surprisingly good sound, but don't have much money to work with, this bass gives you plenty of space to experiment with. It provides plenty of vintage sounds that will get you excited to play it. Finally, the number 10 position is dominated by Ibanez GSR200. Ibanez introduced a Soundjar, or SR series, in 1987. The idea was to build a smooth, playable instrument that musicians can put their trust into. This Ibanez bass came as a surprise to me, considering they decided to put an active set of electronics, unlike most other brands. With a strange pickup setup, this bass stands out from the rest in its price range. It is an entry-level bass, but still, it provides a wide range of tone shaping. It has a nice warm sound with a good low-end response. For the price range, of course, there are going to be limitations on what you can do, but still, it fares quite well in different genres of music. Ibanez tried to make a bass with a little bit of everything, which I think is a good thing, as that is something quintessential for beginner bass players. You can play around and experiment with the sound. It is an overall great beginner's bass with good playability, smooth neck, and design. Somebody would say shorter scale basses are better for beginners, which is true, but this bass compensates for that with its light body and frame. Great for jamming with friends and building up skill. This bass by Ibanez hits the spot with its qualities in the affordable range of instruments. It's sturdy, loud, and bassy, everything you would expect from an Ibanez. That's all for today. We upload music product review videos every single day, so don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for the upcoming video notification.